There is something about a woman past 60 in a beautifully cut blouse that stops a room. It is not youth. It is not a trend. It is presence, the kind that only comes from finally knowing exactly who you are. If you have ever stood in front of your closet wondering why a blouse looks stunning on the hanger and somehow smaller on you, sister, it is not you. Nobody ever handed you the actual rule, and today I am handing it to you. By the time we reach the last point, you will never walk past a blouse rack the same way again. Before we go further, if you feel that this space speaks to you, stay close. Tap subscribe, ring the bell, and let us build this circle of women who refuse to disappear. It takes 2 seconds, and what is coming will be worth it. Now, let us sit down at the table. Point 1. Your collar is the frame around your queen. We overlook this one constantly, and it deserves better. For women over 50, especially those with a smaller frame, your neckline is not just fabric, it is the frame around your face, your crown, your rich skin, your silver hair, or your natural texture, whatever you are wearing with pride. The wrong frame shrinks your presence. The right one lifts you without changing another single thing. Here is what works. A V-neck that sits gently, 2 to 3 inches below the collarbone. That soft dip pulls the eye upward, lengthens the neck, and lifts the whole silhouette. You do not need anything plunging. A subtle V already does the work. Step away from boxy crew necks and wide boat necks. They cut straight across the body, and on a smaller frame, that shortens you visibly. A soft notch collar or a simple V-wrap blouse will serve you far better and beautifully. These styles are everywhere right now at every price point. Point 2. Fabric weight is the secret nobody tells you. Once you understand this, you will feel it every time your hand touches a rack. Heavy fabric, thick cotton, stiff linen, bulky knits adds visual weight the body does not need. It can make you look wider and shorter than you actually are. What you want is drape. Lightweight chiffon, viscose, soft rayon, a silky cotton blend. These fabrics move with your body instead of fighting it, and that movement reads as elegance, not effort. This does not mean structure is your enemy. A little structure at the shoulder is actually your ally, and we will return to that. But through the body of the blouse, soft and fluid is the direction. A simple test, drape it over your forearm. If it flows, it will flow on you. If it holds a stiff shape on its own, it will likely add bulk you do not need. Point 3. Where your blouse ends changes everything. This is the one that surprises most women, and it should be talked about far more. The hemline either works for your proportions or quietly works against them. The ideal length ends right at the hip bone, or just slightly below it. Too long, and it visually shortens your legs, making the whole silhouette feel heavier. End it at the right point, and it creates a natural break that makes your legs read longer, no heels required. A simple trick, place your hand on your hip bone. That is roughly where the blouse should end. If it falls well past your fingers, it is likely too long for your frame. Tunics can absolutely work, but pair them with something slim below so the eye still reads length. This is where I want to pause and say something plainly. Mainstream fashion spent decades pretending women over 60 stopped needing to feel beautiful. That was never true, and I refuse to keep quiet about it. Your body did not become invisible. The industry simply stopped paying attention. We are here to correct that, one blouse, one silhouette, one rule at a time. If that landed with you, tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to hear which point is new to you. Point 4. Your sleeves and your arms deserve honesty. So many women grab whatever sleeve is on the rack without a second thought, and it shows. The most flattering length for women over 60 is the 3/4 sleeve. It ends between elbow and wrist, typically the narrowest point of the arm, drawing the eye to that slimmer line rather than covering everything or exposing what you are not ready to expose. Short sleeves are fine too, just watch where they end. A sleeve cutting across the widest part of the upper arm will emphasize that width. Look for a hem that lands just before or right at that point. Sleeveless works beautifully in warmer months, and if you want a touch more coverage, a lightweight duster or open front cardigan gives you both comfort and polish. Point 5. The pattern placement rule that changes everything. This is the one I promised you at the start. It was never about whether you wear prints. It is about where the pattern sits. A pattern near the face, around the neckline and upper chest, lifts the eye upward and lifts your whole presence. A pattern that sits heavy through the middle, especially bold and busy near the stomach, pulls attention downward, and that works against you. When you shop, look at where the boldest part of the print falls. Near the neckline, it is working for you. Getting heavier toward the hem, step back and reconsider. Smaller to medium-scale prints tend to sit more proportionately, but placement matters just as much as scale. Point 6. The shoulder seam is not negotiable. If you remember only one thing from today, let it be this. The shoulder seam must sit at the actual edge of your shoulder bone, not halfway down your arm, not pulled inward toward your neck. Right at the edge. Too wide, and it droops, making the whole blouse look borrowed from someone else's closet. Sitting exactly right, and suddenly the blouse looks made for you, even if it cost very little. This is the one fit issue that is genuinely difficult and expensive to alter later, so get it right at the point of purchase. Try it on. Check the shoulder first. Do not talk yourself into a beautiful print or a good price if the shoulder is wrong. A well-placed shoulder seam turns an ordinary blouse into something that reads as intentional every time. Point 7. Color placement and the monochromatic secret. This is a graceful way to close because it is simple and it works instantly. Wearing your blouse in the same color family as your bottoms, a similar shade or tone, creates one unbroken vertical line from shoulder to hem. That uninterrupted line reads as height and elongation on the body. It does not mean head to toe beige. Navy trousers paired with a soft blue or a dusty lilac blouse keeps that visual flow alive far better than a sharp contrast would. Contrast is not your enemy. It simply belongs in your accessories. A bold necklace, a rich scarf, a statement earring against a tonal outfit gives you all the personality you want while keeping the line long and elegant. And there it is. 7 rules, simple, specific, and built for a woman who refuses to shrink. No complicated trends, no pressure to dress like someone 20 years younger, just thoughtful style that lets you walk into a room exactly as yourself. Rich skin, silver hair, natural texture, bold color, all of it. If today gave you something worth keeping, share it with the woman in your life who needs to hear it too. Subscribe if you have not already, because this table has a seat for you every week. Leave a comment and tell me which rule you are trying first. I genuinely want to know. Thank you for sitting with me today. Keep your head up, keep your shoulders back, and keep showing up like the queen you have always been. I will see you next time.